Hi, I'm Beth Strathman. Welcome back to my channel. You've probably noticed that we're all experiencing a lot of chaos and turmoil in the world today. But rather than being fatalistic about it, you can look at it as a part of the process of things being torn down so that they can be rebuilt. So it's sort of a chaotic sort of roiling and boiling and tearing down so that we go through a creative stage to create something new through that, a rebirth, so to speak, of the world. But one way of looking at it is that all of this chaos in the world is actually projected outward from each one of us. Carl Jung, the famous psychoanalyst of the early 20th century, said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will, and I'm paraphrasing here, play out in the outer world, and you'll call it your fate. That is to say that it is from us individual human beings that whatever unresolved conflicts are within us, that those are being projected out into the world and creating all the conflict and chaos that we see going on display in front of our eyes every day now. So if Jung is right, in order to address the conflict outside of us, and of course, if you have a passion and are called to actively engage with any issue in the world, by all means do so. At the same time, we all need to look inward to try to start to resolve those inner conflicts we have. In other words, we need to become the change we seek. And in order to do that, to become the change we seek, a big aspect of doing that is to reconnect to who we really are, our authentic selves, by reducing the amount that we live out of our egos, which are important and they help us navigate the world. We still need ego, but not to be almost completely egoic and living out of our egos. We need to start looking at beliefs and behaviors that aren't working for us anymore, that we've learned throughout our lives just to cope in the world, and to start to let go of those that we're ready to let go of so we can move to becoming more of our authentic selves. So here are a few suggestions I have for doing that. First of all, explore the aim and trajectory of your life. Soren Kierkegaard, who was a famous philosopher, said something to the effect of, we must live our lives forwards, but we can only understand them by looking backwards. And if you look backwards at your life, provided that you've lived on earth a fair number of years, you have the ability to start to see sort of where you started, what you've been through, and the general direction it seems that your life is headed. And in doing so and reflecting on that, you can start to make sense of things that have happened in your life, looking at themes and whatnot, to really see, I can start to see kind of what my life is about. Doesn't mean that you're going to be 100% right, but it helps, particularly when you need to guide yourself into the future. It helps to do that sort of thing. So exploring the aim and trajectory of your life. The second thing is to expand the way you see yourself. As I said before, moving from, ego into greater authenticity. So, pull back on the ego a little bit more so that you can reveal more of your authentic self. So this requires you to basically get out of your own way and to look at those aspects of your persona, the mask that you wear out in public, and your personality, the behaviors that go along with that, and to really see how those things have benefited you, but now how those behaviors are getting in your way. We all run into that at a certain point in our lives. And when you're able to peel away those beliefs and behaviors that aren't working for you, you'll reveal more of a more integrated self, which we call your more authentic self. Also, part of this is understanding the story that your ego's been telling about who you are, right? How you see yourself in the world. And take that understanding of that story and put it in the context of this larger story that's emerging as you do look back on your life, as I said before. Then you can start to see the larger mythic story that's trying to live through you. The third thing is to make conscious choices in your life. We go about our days so much on autopilot that we're doing so much. And, it's good to have some routines that you don't have to think a lot about. I'm not saying get rid of those. But we tend to be totally on autopilot throughout the day, really not being conscious about how we're showing up either at home or at work, with people and with projects, whatever we're doing. When you make conscious choices, you can have greater impact, more significant impact with what matters in your life, even with the smallest of decisions that you need to make. Every choice you make can either keep you stuck in living small, or it can help you evolve. It can help you expand into becoming the greatest expression of who you're meant to be. Fourth, cultivate the witness for greater perspective and insight. Sometimes people call this standing on the balcony. That is where you try to pull yourself back from whatever's going on, particular situations in your life, relationships, whatever. Pull yourself back so that you can get a broader view of what's really going on. And see if you can't also think about the different perspectives of the individuals involved. It's sort of like when you look at an impressionistic painting. When you're really close to it, it really doesn't make sense. It just looks like a bunch of colored dots put together. But when you back up, step away from it, and get that broader perspective, you start to see the whole painting, and now everything starts to make sense. You can start to see shape and form. You can see where there are people or objects or trees or whatever in the painting. That's what cultivating the witness can help you do with your life. And when you do cultivate the witness, it helps you to gain greater self-awareness. And that includes both your own self-awareness about yourself and the awareness of how other people experience you. And my final suggestion is to foster greater appreciation and gratitude in your life. You hear this a lot from people, but I do think it is very helpful to keep you grounded and focused on everything that's going right in the world, in your life, instead of kind of getting tugged over too much into what's going wrong. I mean, our brains are wired to see the negatives, so you've got to actually train yourself, help yourself look more at the positive. Studies show that fostering gratitude and appreciation do some of these things, and I'll just read some of these. It increases your optimism, your generosity, positive thoughts, and confidence. Not bad. It improves relationships and friendships. It reduces stress. It improves your decision making. It improves sleep, and it also enhances the empathy that you have for others. Living out of your ego and moving towards becoming more authentic is no small feat. But if you want to do something to transform the chaos that you're experiencing in the world, it starts by resolving those inner conflicts within yourself. And if you're able to do that, you can move closer towards the greatest expression of who you're meant to be. If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications. Also, check out my webpage. I'll put the link in the description. and check for any events that I have upcoming that might be of interest to you, all devoted to personal growth and development.